Jesus and his disciples, a story of light, calling, and sacrifice. In the days when Rome ruled the land of Judea, and the hearts of many were heavy with waiting, God sent his light into the world. That light was Jesus Christ, born in humility in Bethlehem, raised in Nazareth, and revealed to Israel at the appointed time, the calling of the first disciples. When Jesus came to the Jordan River to be baptized by John, the heavens opened, and the Spirit of God descended like a dove. A voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." From that moment, Jesus began his earthly ministry. Walking along the Sea of Galilee, Jesus saw two brothers Simon, who would later be called Peter, and Andrew casting their nets into the water, for they were fishermen. Jesus said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Immediately, they left their nets and followed him. A little farther along, he saw James and John, the sons of Zebedee, mending their nets with their father. Jesus called them also, and they left their boat and their father and followed him. Thus began the gathering of the disciples, ordinary men chosen for an extraordinary purpose. In time, Jesus also called Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew the tax collector, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot. They came from different walks of life, yet all were united by one call, to walk with the Son of God. Life on the road with Jesus. The disciples followed Jesus from town to town through Galilee, Samaria, and Judea. They saw him teach in synagogues and speak to multitudes on hillsides. They watched as he healed the sick, opened blind eyes, cleansed lepers, and raised the dead. One evening, as a great crowd gathered on a mountainside, Jesus sat down and taught them. His disciples drew close as he spoke words that would change the world. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the merciful. They listened in awe, realizing that his kingdom was not like the kingdoms of men. It was built on humility, love, forgiveness, and truth. At night, when the crowds were gone, the disciples asked him questions. Jesus patiently explained parables: the sower, the mustard seed, the lost sheep, revealing the mysteries of the kingdom of God. Though they did not always understand, they trusted him. Miracles that tested their faith. One night, as they crossed the sea in a boat, a fierce storm arose. Waves beat against the boat, and fear filled their hearts. Jesus was asleep. They woke him, crying, "Lord, save us! We are perishing." Jesus rose and rebuked the wind and the sea, and there was a great calm. He then said, "Why are you afraid, O you of little faith?" The disciples marveled, saying, "What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" The night had fallen hard on the Sea of Galilee. The sky was dark and moonless, and the wind tore across the water like an angry voice. The disciples' boat rose and fell sharply, wood creaking, ropes snapping tight in their hands. Waves crashed against the sides, soaking their clothes and stinging their eyes with salt. Jesus was not with them. Earlier that evening, he had sent them ahead across the sea while he remained behind to pray alone on the mountain. The disciples obeyed, but now, hours later, they were far from shore and the storm was winning. Peter strained at the oar. Andrew shouted over the wind. John clutched the side of the boat, whispering prayers under his breath. Though they were seasoned fishermen, fear crept into their hearts. The sea they once knew felt wild and unfamiliar. Then, through the roar of the storm, someone cried out, "Look!" At first, they thought their eyes were deceiving them. A figure was moving toward them, not swimming, not struggling, but walking across the surface of the water. Each step was calm, steady, untouched by the waves. Terror seized them. "It's a ghost!" They shouted, their voices breaking as the boat lurched again. But then a voice came clear, strong, and filled with peace that cut through the storm. "Take courage. It is, I do not be afraid." They knew that voice. "Lord," Peter called out, his heart pounding, "if it is you, tell me to come to you on the water." There was no hesitation in Jesus' reply. "Come." Peter stepped over the side of the boat. The wind howled. The water swirled beneath his feet, but it did not swallow him. He stood. He took a step, then another. His eyes were fixed on Jesus, and for a moment, the impossible became reality. But then Peter noticed the wind. He heard the crashing waves. Fear rushed back into his heart. He began to sink. "Lord, save me," Gik cried. Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," Jesus said gently, not with anger but with love. "Why did you doubt?" Together, they climbed into the boat, and the moment Jesus stepped aboard, the wind ceased. The sea grew still, as if it had been waiting for his command. The disciples fell to their knees. "Truly," they whispered in awe, "you are the Son of God." And there, in the quiet after the storm, they learned something deeper than the miracle itself. That faith is not the absence of fear, but trusting Jesus even when the waves are loud, and that He is Lord over both the sea and the human heart. The idea was madness. The sea was no place for human feet. But Jesus did not rebuke Peter. He simply said one word, "Come." Peter did not understand how it would happen. He only knew who had spoken. He swung one leg over the side of the boat. The cold wind slapped his face. The water below churned violently. Every instinct screamed at him to stay where he was, but faith pushed him forward. His foot touched the water. It did not sink. He stepped fully out of the boat. The waves did not swallow him. Peter stood on the sea. For a moment, the storm faded from his mind. All he could see was Jesus standing firm upon the deep, untouched by chaos. Peter took a step toward him, then another. With each step, his face stronger. His fear loosened its grip. He was walking on the impossible. But then the wind roared louder. A wave crashed nearby, spraying cold water against his legs. Peter's eyes flickered away from Jesus, just for a heartbeat. He looked at the storm. He felt the force of the wind. He remembered where he was. Fear rushed back like a flood. The water beneath his feet softened. His confidence shattered. The surface that had held him firm now gave way. Peter began to sink. The sea swallowed his ankles, then his knees. His cloak dragged him down. Panic filled his chest. He flailed, the dark water closing in around him. In that moment, Peter understood the truth about himself. How quickly courage can turn into doubt. How fragile faith can be when fear is allowed to speak louder than trust. But he did not try to save himself. He did not swim. He cried out, "Lord, save me." It was not a long prayer. It was not polished or eloquent. It was desperate and raw, but it was enough. Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand. Not after Peter sank completely. Not after he struggled longer. Not after he proved anything. Immediately, Jesus' hand closed around Peter's wrist, strong and sure, pulling him back above the waves. The water released its grip. The storm did not stop, but Peter was no longer alone in it. "You of little faith," Jesus said, not in anger, but with compassion. "Why did you doubt?" Peter could not answer. His chest heaved as he clung to the hand that had saved him. Shame mixed with relief. Fear mixed with gratitude. Together, they walked back to the boat. And when Jesus stepped inside, the wind ceased. The waves fell silent. The sea became as smooth as glass, as though it had never raged at all. The disciples dropped to their knees. "Truly," they said in awe, "you are the Son of God." Peter sat quietly, water dripping from his clothes, heart still racing. He had walked on water and he had sunk. He had believed and he had doubted. Yet he had learned something the others would never forget. That faith does not mean never sinking. It means knowing who to cry out to when you do. And long after the sea was calm, Peter remembered the feeling of the water beneath his feet and the hand that had pulled him out of the deep.